Now I know that I brought you folks some weird stuff over the years, but this one, this one's gotta win some sort of award for most confusing message of all time. In 2016, this video went viral on Facebook, so of course it comes available in boomer vision, complete with meme captions. Daughter asked, "Why are they black?" This mother's reply will definitely move you. I love when videos tell you how you're supposed to react. That's not manipulative at all. The basic premise is that we have two little girls playing in a park, and the white girl wants to know why the other girl is black. And the overall message of this video is that we should all be tolerant because deep down inside we're all the same. And I'm absolutely, completely down with that message. But how that message is communicated, that's where we have a breakdown.
Mom, why are they black?
Sorry?
Why are they black?
This is awkward. Yes, this is awkward. If you have a child, one day they will ask you why another person is different, and they're going to ask you that question at the worst possible time. The first thing you want to do is acknowledge the other people here. Start off with an apology. If they're reasonable, they'll understand. And when she observes you doing this, your child will learn that it's not appropriate to talk about people while they're standing right there. Then, just explain to your child that their ancestors came from a place that was very hot, and that their dark skin protects them from the sun. The last thing that you want to do is visibly panic and treat your daughter like they've done something wrong for asking a simple question, because then your child might grow up thinking that it's a bad thing just to acknowledge black people.
I will call you later. Sarah, don't say that.
Yep, exactly what I said not to do.
But Mom, they're black.
Okay, you've panicked, and now everyone at the park is worried that you might be a secret racist because you're overcompensating. And you've confused your daughter instead of just answering a simple question. Oh, and the other girl's playing with Play-Doh at the park? What is this? This isn't a thing that people actually do, is it?
Black is beautiful.
All right, she's reading the crowd. She's starting to realize that she's coming off as crazy. Let's steer this ship back in the right direction here.
They are black, but they are beautiful.
But implies that black is a bad thing.
It's pure.
What the f*** are you talking about? Now you're definitely overcompensating.
You know, Sarah, darling, they're black. Because God created them first.
Look at these two. You can tell what they're thinking. This woman is definitely crazy.
And he fell in love with his first baby and its beauty. So he created many of them with a beautiful heart inside.
What the f***? What is this? Looking up for approval, but still not getting it. Quick, try saying some more obviously overcompensating statements.
Mom, so why are we white?
Oh no, a lot of pressure now. You've painted yourself into quite a corner here.
Well, one day, God was passing through a park, and he noticed a beautiful little black girl, sitting alone, playing with the white clay.
Oh, that's why she has Play-Doh? It's so obvious that she's just making it up as she goes along.
She was trying to make a doll for her to play with. He stopped there to watch her closely.
This story's starting to make me feel uncomfortable.
Her beautiful little hands were full of white clay. She has almost painted herself with the white clay, and he was amused to see her. So he decided to make more people and paint them white. And he loved his new creation.
Ah, this is total horse. Which God story does this fit? This is pulled completely out of someone's ass. I want you to think about this for a second. Somebody made this shit up thinking that it was in some way respectful to black people, when in reality it's completely condescending to black people. Oh, I came up with this wonderful, fancy story. I'm not a racist. Meanwhile, you're not teaching your daughter anything. In fact, you're teaching her to walk on eggshells around black people, and you're filling her head with all this political nonsense. Europeans are white because because as our ancestors migrated north, further away from the direct sunlight, they were simultaneously adopting a more agrarian lifestyle, meaning they were eating more cultivated foods. The earliest Europeans were dark-skinned, very much like this depiction of Cheddar Man, but eventually a mutation that caused less melanin to develop lightened the skin of some of our ancestors, allowing them to absorb more vitamin D through the sun. It's not that hard.
So he played all the shades of white and created all of us. But inside, we all are black.
Inside, we're all the same.
We all are same.
This kid is so confused. From a social standpoint, from a political standpoint, in all the ways that matter, everyone on Earth is the same on the inside. Yes, each race has its own characteristics that set it apart from every other race, in the same way that every family has characteristics that set it apart from every other family. And that's what races are, really, is genetic family groups. But we are not all black. That's a misrepresentation of how evolution works. We all have a common ancestor. Black people have deviated from that original race just as much as white people have. Though it appears on the outside that our genetic traits vary wildly, take a look for a second at the emperor penguin. Every single one of these motherfuckers looks exactly the same, yet the emperor penguin population has more genetic diversity than the human race. Do you know what it looks like is happening right now? This little girl is coming over to the black people after she and her mother just had a conversation about them while they were standing there listening. The little girl has learned to take pity upon black people because there was a time that we white people were once afflicted with the curse of blackness. We still have to remember where we came from. That's what this looks like. That's a really dishonest way for this film to communicate how white people are supposed to treat black people. As if the average reaction you'd get from a black mother would be an approval of this made-up horse. This is so clearly written by somebody who's never even seen white people and black people interact before. She's using black people to pat herself on the back for being woke.
Don't worry, it's just a paint. Inside we're all black.
Oh, these poor fucking kids. These kids are fucked. If this is our future, I hope global warming happens tomorrow. Just get it over with. But what the film seems to be communicating to us is that this little black girl should be forever grateful. She should feel honored that this white person would come up and treat her as an equal. But she shouldn't feel honored because she's just been sitting there listening to these people talk about her like she's not even there. Like she's an unsightly mole that we still have to respect despite the fact that she's undesirable. Why are you nodding in approval? What do you think you've accomplished? It's like you've just assured yourself that you're not racist.
You are more than beautiful. You are more than beautiful.
This is the dumbest shit.
What's your name? Sarah.
That's right, the twist ending is that they're both named Sarah. That's even the name of this video. Little Girls Sarah. And what have we learned? We've learned that we're all the same on the inside. That I don't disagree with. Yes, we have minor differences, mostly superficial, some related to our health, but our differences don't set us apart. They don't determine our destiny. They don't force us to live separately and differently. I'm proud to be Canadian because here, our differences are what make us strong. Our differences make us beautiful. All throughout history, going way back into ancient times, people have learned to live side by side. Babylon, Egypt, Athens, Constantinople, and so many more. You can travel around the world and go to the worst countries, the most dangerous, barren, war-torn, xenophobic, fascist, impoverished lands, and find people, human beings living their lives, trying to get by just like we do. Few people really grasp just how similar we are. It wasn't always like this. We've been living this way for so long that we've forgotten how good we have it. We used to have to share this planet with different kinds of humans. Yes, truly different people. The most famous of which? Homo neanderthalensis. Shorter, stockier, slower than us, but stronger, with a larger brain capacity. Neanderthal competed with us for the same resources, and they even made war with us. They threatened our very existence in Eurasia. But they're gone now. And where did they go? Well, some of them interbred with us, sure, but what happened to the rest of them? We pwned them. We pwned every last one of them. And we didn't stop there. Homo habilis? Pwned. Homo florensis? Pwned. Homo heidelbergensis? Pwned. Homo erectus? Pwned. Homo denisova? Fucking pwned. Why? Because nobody messes with Homo sapien. We're number one! We hear in the media every day about how divided we are, how different we are, how we should hate each other, we should fear each other. These emotions bind us in a paradigm of paranoia. It's a prison for our mind designed to blind us to our true relationship with each other. It blinds us to the real threats to our liberties, our freedoms, and our lives. We're being undermined as a people the more we become divided. Oh, the resurgence of identity politics has certainly played a heavy role in this. Almost everyone has bought into an identity cult. Instead of focusing on our shared interests, our common oppressors, those who live in ivory towers on private islands and tax havens, they've got us running in circles, playing whack-a-mole with an endless barrage of manufactured outrage played 24/7 on CNN and Fox News. We're being conditioned to never point our finger up, but instead at each other for all of our misfortunes. We're told that we should blame Arab people for terrorism, causing endless wars that take our freedoms, that we should blame white people for the poverty in our nations and the terrible public education system, and that we should blame black people for the crime in our cities and the lack of safety on our streets. We're one giant family. We're here together, and we're strong together. We lift each other up and support each other. As George Carlin said, they don't care about you.
Good, honest, hardworking people. White collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hardworking people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich who don't give a about them. They don't give a about you. They don't give a about you. They don't care about you at all. At all. At all.
These people are physically incapable of experiencing empathy, and you've put your trust in them to take care of you. You've been sold a bill of lies. You sit here bickering over who's more oppressed, or who doesn't deserve freedom of speech because they're a bigot, or they make pedo jokes. Meanwhile, the rug is being pulled out from under your feet, and you think you're fighting the good fight because they've manipulated your capacity for empathy to convince you of that. But every time you fight to revoke someone else's freedom, you're following the Pied Piper right off the cliff, working to seal your own fate. It's not that complicated. In the end, I think that we can all agree that black or white or black, it doesn't matter, as long as you're not a furry. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw and you'd like to see more Armored Skeptic, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you absolutely love me, you can support me on Patreon, or if you have a passing affection for me, you can buy my merch. Links are in the description.